So we might as well just go into talking about Jeremiah Fears now. Now, I did my first mock draft after the lottery, and I didn't put Fears in the top 14 because I feel like there's an area at the end of that first round where I just don't know. Like, I don't know what those teams are looking for in terms of guards. A lot of them are like, I don't think you need another point guard there. I'm not sure that this fits. And every team I tried to fit him into, it's like, if he doesn't go at 6, maybe does he go at 15? And I just didn't really know what to do with Jeremiah Fears. Now, this again, a guy he's not super small, but he's not super big. But okay, let's start with the elephant in the room here. He shot 28% from 3. Like, okay, what's going on? Is he just going to be a non-shooter? But he shot these free throws extraordinarily well. What do we make of the fact that number is like a horrific three-point shooting number?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's the caliber of shooter currently that somebody like Tahad or even somebody like Colin Knippel is. But he does have the mechanical strengths at the free throw line, like you said. I just think it's a lot of those self-created shots, and it's not something that was his bread and butter coming to Oklahoma either. I think he'll be a decent shooter, but there is a ways to go there, and I think that 28%, like you said, is probably going to cause him to go on a bit of a slide. I really like him. I think he's great in many different regards. He's one of the more creative pick and roll ball handlers in this class, one of the more creative shot takers. Like we said, he kind of has been struggling to make them. But really one of those guys that prints out paint touches, gets deep pretty much on every single one of his drives. And even though he hasn't really finished it, you like what you see up until the point the shot hits the rim.
What do you make of, like, okay, his size? He's not super small. Like, I think he's got enough size. Do you think that makes him like a guy that's going to be, because obviously incredibly high usage at Oklahoma, over 30%. Will he be a usage-driven guard in the NBA, or will he be more of a combo guard who will work on the driving, will do stuff defensively? Like, is he that engine sort of a player with his pick and roll ability, or is he going to have to adapt that and pull that back down quite a bit?
I think he's definitely more of a point guard. I think his passing stats kind of aren't the greatest. He was a turnover heavy, really turnover heavy guy to start the season. Brought that down throughout, but you look at the passes he's able to make. He can do it both hands. He can go spray the shooters. He can hit the big, and he's a guy who can really like run and play. I think down the course of the season, when you got in tournament play and NCAA tournament play, he was really good at just kind of like getting that offense established. He'd hit guys in transition. He hits the big very, very well. I think he's definitely a point guard. You just kind of hope that shot making comes along so that it makes the playmaking more dangerous.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing about just everything plays off everything. Like, if you can be a reliable shooter, it opens up more for you to drive, it opens up more for you to pass, it opens up more for you to kick out to all these guys. And then if you can't shoot, no one respects it. You got no space to drive. That you don't get anyone coming in on double teams. You don't get any of that stuff opening up. So everything always has to work in concert with each other to be able to get to that level. In terms of pick and roll operation, where do you sort of place him in terms of this class? Is he if you're looking for, hey, I want a pick and roll point guard, is he the guy that you go to? Or are there better options out there? Like, where is he sitting in that sort of a hierarchical level?
He's certainly up there. I think if you're looking for somebody who's just going to score, you're going Dylan Harper. If you're looking for somebody who can really like just pass, find the guys you want him to find, you're looking at Igor Demin. But I think if you're looking for somebody who has the upside to really create out of there, you're looking at somebody like Fears. He's athletic. He has that first step that you want in a guard who's going to be handling a lot. He has this kind of just like artistic way of handling the ball where he's not really necessarily bound to kind of like what is a good place to dribble, but he makes it work. He's throwing out spin moves and crossovers and just kind of these street ball moves that you kind of see Allen Iverson and stuff like that doing. He's not AI, but you can kind of see his influences there, and a lot of those guys are very dangerous pick and roll handlers as well.
The last thing on Fears here is that I'm sure that you have seen this website, the NBA Draft Comp app, where it compares advanced numbers and per 40 numbers and gives similarity scores. And I've done that for Fears for his base numbers and his advanced numbers, and two names came out, and it's a very different level of the I guess maybe this is like a range of outcomes. In terms of his per 40 comparisons, it's his former Oklahoma point guard Trae Young, high usage guy, solid assist rate, took his threes in college, nice. Trae had a good steal rate as well. He's the highest similarity. If you look at the advanced stats, the highest similarity is Tony Wroten. And you don't want to be compared to Tony Wroten as an NBA prospect, a guy that obviously drove into the paint a lot and took some of the worst shots you'll ever see and was completely inefficient. So do you think that there is that actual wide of a range of an outcome for what Fears is able to do? Not saying he'll hit to Trae Young or be as bad as Wroten, but is that level of boom or bust sort of the problem here with where you consider Fears to go?
I think that's definitely it. Like, obviously the one thing you're looking for from any basketball players is, can you make shots? Bill Russell said it best: the game's about a bucket. You need to be able to put the ball in the basket. Fears was, if you look at the half-court numbers, kind of well below the tier of guys that you like, who were great at finishing at the rim. That's Harper, that's Pettiford. He wasn't really just finishing on a lot of those looks, even though he's printing out those paint touches, like I said. And then you get to the shooting. I think he shot a good bit better on his pull-up twos than he did his pull-up threes. But you need to be able to make those NBA shots, which are the catch-and-shoot threes, the layups, just the shots that you need to make. He didn't really do well doing. Now, there's clearly a kind of pathway to success in that role. He has all the traits up until the shot goes up. It's just about that aspect of finishing the play.